beautifuls, this is Aromie here, and welcome back to Seduce Me 2. We are here, kind of like, being nosy listening to these two people.
I had to send off and watch almost 9.5 million soldiers marching to their deaths. This world lost that many lives and had to take their blood and ashes into its soil as the battles we fought ended. The Demon Lord, however, ravaged and slaughtered thousands of innocent lives in between, sending more people to their deaths just because they were in his way.
Why are you telling me this?
All of those lives could have been spared.
Diana turned around and glared hard at Sam, and to my surprise, Sam froze in place.
Every single life that was lost during this war could have lived, could have been leading normal lives.
Sam didn't open his mouth. Why wasn't he saying anything? I felt the need to step in, but I was stopped by a hand over my mouth. Who was it?
Shh.
Oh, it's Damien. I looked up to see Damien covering my mouth and staring into the room intently. I didn't understand. Why was he hushing me? I looked back into the room as Diana began to step towards Sam.
My kingdom became the target of the Demon Lord's wrath, and I came back to the castle and my people screaming to the sky and burning in the flames. My family was taken away from me, and now the only person I had left in my life is missing, presumably dead.
Is she talking about Settle? I silently gasped, instantly thinking of Settle. He couldn't have been. There was no way. As Diana finally got close to Sam, leaning nose to nose with them, her eyes began to glow a cruel, cold golden color, making me worry.
And it's all because of you, your brothers, and that human.
Excuse me?
What?
Like lightning, Diana and Sam slammed into the far wall. However, instead of Diana against the wall, Sam was held against it with Diana's hand over his mouth. What surprised me the most was Sam staring at Diana with almost a shocked and fearful expression. What the hell? Sam gripped Diana's arms, but for some reason she didn't seem to be affected by his strength, like he was gripping stone. Where did her strength come from?
I want to get it through your head that this war is your fault. Yours and that human's faults. My parents, my sister, their lives were ripped away from this world because of you two. My kingdom burned, drowned in the flames of the Demon Lord because of you two.
Excuse me, what did I do? It's not my fault they had to come to my house. Okay.
Your brothers were too enthralled with the human world to give a damn about where they came from, so I could have never convinced them to come back. You were my only hope, and you decided that the human was more important than the peace of this world. Because of your love for her, you stayed in the human world and caused so much death.
Hey, don't guilt trip him. That's not cool. Struggle to step in or keep watching. Let's not interfere right now. I feel like if we interfere right now, it wouldn't be the right time. I feel like there's a better time.
I want to burn that anger into your soul. Every single life that has been lost in this war to stop the Demon Lord was because of you and your love.
Diana's hand slowly moved from Sam's mouth to his collar and gripped it, pulling him up onto his toes. However, as they continued to stare at each other, Sam's eyes began to glow a bright red and gold color, the mixture swirling in his green irises.
This war wasn't.
Yes, it was!
Diana quickly pulled Sam forward and slammed him back into the wall, causing him to jerk and wince, growling but continuing to stare at Diana's angry expression. Around Diana's body was a dark purple aura, flickering like a wildfire with her scream.
If I had just killed that human and dragged you back, the world would not be suffering as it is! If that human wasn't alive, then the Demon Lord would not have done what he did!
I don't think so. I still feel like the war would still be around.
If you and your brothers had just stayed, this war would not have happened!
But then they wouldn't have found their soulmates.
We're gonna end it!
We will! And when this war is over, I will never have to see you or that damn human ever again!
Well, if you feel like that way, Diana, how rude. I stared wide-eyed as Diana lowered her head down and slightly loosened her grip on Sam's collar. Her back was arched over, twitching and spasming as Diana gritted her teeth.
That is why you two must survive.
Okay. Her anger and everything was to tell us that's why we must survive.
What?
Diana's voice weakened immensely, changing in softened choked sobs and whimpers.
You two need to survive this war. You need to protect her. and stay alive no matter what.
I guess I'm assuming, like, if he doesn't, like, if we don't live after this, it was kind of, like, worthless of all the other people that sacrificed their lives before. My heart dropped, but my mind was lost. Where was this coming from? I felt Damien loosen his grip of her mouth slightly as I watched Sam straighten up to look at Diana. The horror around Diana slowly began to die out with each word Diana choked out.
If either of you die, then this war will have happened for nothing.
Yeah.
All of those lives, all of this destruction. The only reason we are here is because of you two.
Well, don't put us into that much guilt.
Diana.
Diana looked up at Sam, a new hopeless pain burning her eyes as tears began to stream down her face.
Swear to me, Brute, that you will take responsibility for this and live, no matter what happens. Damn the war, damn my life. But you must swear that you understand and will take this responsibility.
My heart was hurting at the sight of Diana. She looked so broken, barely gripping to Sam and no longer forcing him against the wall behind him. Sam, however, pressed his lips together. What was he going to do? Sam, staring at Diana's expression, slowly grabbed onto both of Diana's horn and pulled Diana's head downward, pressing his forehead to the top of her head.
I swear.
For the first and only time in my life, I watched Diana crumble to the ground onto her knees with Sam following her down. Diana's hands released Sam and covered her face before she started sobbing violently into her palms. Sam kept his hand on her horns, pressing his forehead into the top of her head with closed eyes. Red energy from Diana's body slowly began to slide along her form and into Sam's head, slowly wrapping around him and fading away. I stepped away from the door and looked at Damien, seeing him look down at the ground in shame. Damien. This is weird, because Damien was the first guy I chose.
It is our fault, but we can't change the past. We can only end this.
Yep. I know, the feeling the weight of the world rest on my shoulder. Or soul, sorry. In a way, I felt completely responsible for this war even happening. I loved Sammy enough to keep him away from his duty, his reason for birth. I had chained him to me, and I wouldn't let him go. I looked back to Diana, seeing her shake and crying as Sam continued to remain silent, still holding her horns. The energy had vanished and all was left were the tears Diana was shedding. Did Sam take her energy?
Sam took away her rage.
Wait, what? I looked up at Damien confused. He was an incubus, so he was only able to take away sexual energy, right? He could take other forms of energy too. Sam can do that?
Yes, actually. While he's an incubus, he's also part brute demon, just like the rest of us.
I was surprised. Sam was part brute demon? So, we're the boys. This is surprising. Damien chuckled softly, assumingly because he read my mind, and nodded.
Our mothers were succubi. The demon lord, though, he's no incubus. He's a brute demon who feeds on and uses rage energy.
Oh. Damien looked into the room, losing part of his smile.
Sam, our brothers and I were born incubi, but Sam inherited more brute demon traits than the rest of us. Thus, why he had the nicknames Brute and Monster.
Oh. Because he wasn't, like, a regular incubus? Damien nodded. I looked at Sam, seeing him stare into Diana's scalp with a focused but intense expression. The more I thought about it, the more I could see what he meant.
Sam never got into the idea of taking and using sexual energy. He was angry all of the time in the demon world, so he fed on rage energy instead. It wasn't until he went to the human world with us when he began to rely on his incubus powers.
Yeah. I could only imagine it. Sam hated his father and was the rebel son of the Incubi brothers, full of anger. That was probably why he was so forward when we had met and full of attitude. Still, I fell in love with him. He was truly a wonderful man. He did everything he could to make me happy and feel safe. He always put me first, which flattered me and made me feel incredibly special. I didn't know what to say to that. Diana eventually stopped crying and wiped the tears from her face, but she didn't raise her head. Damien, whom I thought would have stayed longer, disappeared, leaving me alone to watch.
Sam, if I die, would you?
Would he what? I stared, hoping that Diana would reply with a clearer question, but she merely closed her eyes and let out a small sigh. Suddenly the noise in the room became silent, but I could see Diana's lip move. Sam's eyes widened as she finished speaking, but he didn't say anything back, even as Diana looked up at Sam. When Sam finally reacted, he let out a silent sigh and spoke back. The sound of his voice negated through whatever silence engulfed the room. As my body began to collapse, I watched as Diana listened and nodded with a smile before fading into the ground through a dark pentagram. Sam, however, remained there, staring where Diana had been and took in whatever she had said. Upon the demand of my body, I began to make my way towards the bedroom, not wanting Sam to know that I had been eavesdropping. We've been doing this all the time lately, eavesdropping. I began to head back to my room, ready for what was going to happen tomorrow. Everything would be decided then.
You cruel, selfish bastard!
Uh-oh. A shout, however, interrupted my journey to my room. I froze in place before turning my head toward a door that was barely open a small crack. It was the door leading to the grand hall, Settle's training room. Why was Diana there, though? And who was she yelling at? I peeked inside to see Diana glaring into the darkness with her arms crossed tightly over her chest. As I squinted, trying to see what she was glaring at, I silently gasped. Settle! Settle was kneeling in the dark before his mistress, his head bowed low in shame. When did he return? More than that, why was he keeping his head down? Was he not successful in his mission?
Where in the 7 planes of hell have you been, Zero?
My lady,
You left the castle with no notification or warning, and you activated your damn holy magic to deny me the right to summon you to my side. How dare you!
If you would let me...
And now you suddenly waltz back into the castle with a smile on your face as if you had gone out and killed the demon lord himself. Explain yourself!
Staring at Diana, I could see her face burning as red with rage. Her cheeks, however, were glistening as rude tears ran down them. Settle kept his head down but continued to plead with Diana.
My lady, I was on a personal quest. I had to retrieve something I believed to be important, and it was incredibly selfish of me to do so. I'm sorry, but I needed to complete this task before we went into battle.
She's not gonna understand because she's full of anger right now.
You placed this quest over your duty to me?
Only this once, my lady. It needed to be done immediately, and I greatly apologize for doing so, but I promise my journey bore results.
Do you not realize how worried you made me? I have barely rested these past 3 nights because of you.
Oh wow, it's been 3 nights? Holy hell. I stared at Diana wide-eyed in shock. She was concerned about him. Sato seemed to be surprised as well, eyes wide and staring at the ground. However, he didn't lift his head, most likely still following a demand previously given to him to keep his head down.
My lady, I'm deeply sorry.
Sorry doesn't make this better. What if you were killed? What if I was killed? You are supposed to be by my side at all times. You broke the vow that you made not only to me, but to my family, that you would stay with me and protect me.
My lady, please!
Enough! I've heard enough!
Diana, please listen! Diana turned away from Seto, looking to the ground and clenching her eyes shut. More tears ran down her face as she gritted her teeth. Seto finally lifted his face, shocked to see her back instead of her face.
You are dismissed. You are no longer permitted to be in the same room as me until further notice.
Oh, come on.
My lady.
I said you are dismissed, Cyril.
Isair.
You do not have permission to use my...
Holy hell, what's going on? All of a sudden, Seto lunged forward and wrapped his arms around Diana's arms and chest, hugging her body to his tightly, and she released a tearful gasp of surprise. Seto buried his face in her shoulders as Diana stood wide-eyed at the wall ahead of her. Diana froze in his arms as Seto clutched her body to his, locking it against his chest.
Do not send me away from you. I broke my vow, yes, but I did it for a reason. I cannot bear the thought of being separated from you. Not after what I have discovered.
I stared, feeling my heart clench. It was like watching a romantic drama, where the two leads were either going to break up or confess their love for each other. The air was tense and full of both anticipation and fear. Diana remained frozen in Seto's arms as he lifted his head and gently relaxed his embrace around her.
Isair, I've brought you something.
Oh my gosh.
You... What?
Oh! Diana finally began to move, slowly turning around in Seto's arms to look at him in confusion. Seto frowned, seeing her tearful and red face, and gently brought a hand up to her cheek. He gingerly wiped the tears from Diana's eyes with the back of his fingers before cupping her face. Diana didn't lean in, but she didn't object to it.
I've brought you something very important. It may not seem important to this war, but it's important to me.
My heart caught itself in my throat. Did he Settle released Diana's cheek before waving his hand between their faces. Black and purple mist forming in the air, shifting into something small. As it finally materialized, Diana gasped, and I silently echoed her reaction. Oh, he got it! He got the gold rose! In the air floated a beautiful golden rose on a dark green thornless stem. It had mostly blossomed, showing its beautiful petals and glowing softly in between Settle and Diana. It slowly turned in the air, showing Diana all of its magnificence.
The golden rose. A symbol and proof of my love for you, Isaiah. I've wanted to retrieve it for you for the longest time, and now I finally have.
Settle.
No.
I love you so much. You have given my life so much meaning, and I have sworn my life to protecting you. Isaiah, you are the most precious and the most beautiful woman to ever grace the 5 worlds, and being with you every day fills me with such joy. If this is what it takes to prove my love for you, then I will happily give you thousands of golden roses for as long as I have breath. But please, know now that my feelings for you are pure and true.
No. Are your hearts bursting yet, guys? I felt like crying as I watched the scene unfold. Diana was stunned, and I almost choked on my own spit. Streams of rogue tears once again falling down her cheeks as she stared at Settle. The rose slowly lowered to float between their chests, as if it was patiently waiting for something to happen.
You are my everything. My moon, my stars, my world. Please, Isaiah, do not send me away from you.
Oh my gosh. This is so cute and never realistic unless someone does this to you in real life, then please tell me.
Settle. You idiot.
Settle let out, oh my god, try not to cry here. Settle let out a soft chuckle as Diana wiped her eyes with a very, very small smile.
Insult me all you like. I deserve it for leaving your side. However, now that I've proven my love to you, I must know the truth. Do you love me?
Oh my god. I'm trying so hard not to cry right now. This is just beautiful. Diana looked up at Settle as her smile grew ever so slightly. Something about Diana changed as she looked up at him. Her eyes seemed to be lighter and full of joy. My heart melted at the way they looked at each other. Settle watched Diana with curiosity, and Diana gazing at Settle in warm elation. Diana lifted her hand to the rose and gently cupped it underneath its petals, making Settle look down and gasp. In Diana's hand, the rose fully bloomed, revealing its innermost gold, almost white petals. Settle looked back up at Diana, seeing her cry joyful tears and fighting back tears of his own.
I do, Settle. More than you could ever know. She
was just angry, and she missed you. Settle gently shushed her, cupping her cheek gently and wiping the tears away with his thumb. For the first time, at least from what I had seen, Diana nuzzled into his hand, closing her eyes. She looked so innocent and pure with Settle now. Was this the real Diana?
Whatever fear you had, let it go. I swear to never hurt you and to love you until time stands still.
Can you guys stop being too cute? I stared teary-eyed as Settle gently took the rose from between them and placed it in Diana's hair behind her ear. Oh. Diana waited until he finished before reaching up and wrapping her arms around his neck.
I love you too, Settle.
At last, Settle wrapped his arms around Diana's waist and pulled her close as they both leaned in and finally kissed. It was a magical sight to behold. Their love echoed in the kiss, making each other almost glow within the room. I felt my cheeks warm in an uncontrollable blush as I watched. Keep watching or leave him alone. Let's leave him alone now. I think I had enough for my heart and my tears. They needed their privacy. Who knew where that kiss was going to go anyway? I smiled joyful for what had happened between them before I turned on my heel and began to walk towards my room. I don't want to see their action, okay? Privacy is what they need. I finally reached my room and let my body fall into the bed. I let out a sigh of utter pleasure as I felt the cloud-like bed cradle my body on its surface. I was beyond happy. I had been kidnapped and taken to the demon world by the demon lord, trapped here unless he or I died. Then Sam and I had haunted by a powerful being that had been hell-bent on testing us. This entire week had become a wild roller coaster ride of excitement that I would have never expected. Still, there was a joy to be found in adventure and my curiosity, thank destiny for letting me experience it. Now all I wanted to do was to get home and marry the man I loved. As Sam finally entered the room at last, I smiled instead, walking over and wrapping my arms around him. This is where we're gonna stop. Cause, yeah, my heart cannot take any more. I can't take any more. That was just so amazingly cute with what happened between Settle and Diana. I mean, though Diana was kind of rude and stuff, but if like her family and all that war did not happen, I don't think Settle would have like vowed his life to her or whatever happened, right? I don't know. I just feel like it like that way. Her love for Settle wouldn't be where it is right now without Sam and I messing everything up. But thank you guys for watching. Stay beautiful, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.